Good evening. It is 6:30 p.m. and I'm calling the Monday, August 24th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting to order. Tonight's Planning Commission meeting is structured to allow virtual participation on Zoom or participation in person while following social distance and mask guidelines. Members of the public are welcome and encouraged to participate when invited throughout the meeting. If you are participating virtually and experience audio problems, we suggest you leave the Zoom meeting and then rejoin. This has usually fixed the issue. Additional instructions on how to participate are posted online at www.burnsvillemn.gov in the public meeting calendar. As usual, tonight's meeting is available live and recorded for later viewing on BCTV and on the city's website. If you are unable to participate this evening and would like to submit public testimony, I encourage you to email your comments to city staff or mail your comments directly to City Hall. You may participate in the meeting tonight online by going to zoom.us/join and typing in meeting ID 934-3645-3823. Once you are logged into the meeting, please use the chat feature to tell the moderator which item you wish to speak to. You may also call into the meeting at 651-372-8299. Your call will be muted until there is an agenda item that contains a public hearing. I will provide further instruction and notify you when you may speak. Please note there may be a slight delay due to the differences in technology. If speaking by phone, please mute your computer to avoid feedback. And now we will move to the agenda. The first item on the Planning Commission meeting agenda is adoption of the agenda. Do any members of the commission have changes to the agenda? Staff, any changes?
No changes.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, so a motion by Commissioner Henderson and seconded by Commissioner John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. And the motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes from the August 10th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. Commissioners, did you note any changes? Staff, any changes?
No changes.
All right, so I would like a motion.
I move to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Commissioner Roberts?
I'll second the motion.
Commissioner Awad seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. And the motion carries. Okay, on to item number 3, which is a public hearing for Dupont, Biynah, Birch LLP, application for a conditional use permit to allow slats within chain link fence to be used as screening material, and an interim use permit for outdoor storage of metal studs and framing on metal racks for a period of 20 years located at 12301 Dupont Avenue South. And Ms. Garros, our city planner, will be providing a presentation on this item.
Thank you, commissioners. The application before you is a public hearing for 2 items, an interim use permit, and that's to allow outdoor storage in the Gateway Industrial Medium Zoning District, and then also a conditional use permit, and that's to allow slats, basically the slats that are installed within chain link fencing as the type of screening material. So those 2 items are being requested. The time period that's being requested for the outdoor storage interim use permit is 20 years. And just to give the commissioners and public a little bit of information about that, at the last meeting, we did review an application from KMM, Kramer Mining and Materials, Inc., and they are expanding their quarrying operations and anticipate that will be done somewhere around the year 2040, which is a few years beyond what we had thought prior to that application coming forth. And then we also have an application that will be coming to you. We've reviewed the concept plan for the waste management landfill, and again, the time frame for that will likely be expanded as well. So the 2040 timeframe that's being requested is still within that interim period, if you will, where we don't anticipate a lot of major changes until both the quarrying and the landfill cease operations. And then even beyond that, it's going to take a number of years for the quarry to fill to actually get to the lake. So with that, the subject site, as I indicated, is zoned Gateway Industrial Medium. It's also in the North Gateway zoning district. And that the existing site was platted and first developed as a Levitt's showroom and warehouse in 1971. At that point in time, a conditional use permit was needed for showrooms and warehouses. The building is existing. There haven't been any additions or exterior changes to the building, so that's existing, and the parking area is existing as well. I did identify in the report that the site currently is not meeting the gateway industrial standards. However, with this application, it's an interim use, and with the status and kind of the other activity, the heavy industrial activity that's going on, we feel that because this is an interim use, it's not necessary to meet those gateway requirements at this point in time, but that would occur in the future when there's some redevelopment on the property. The let's see, the building size is over 167,000 square feet. And this slide just basically shows some of the existing approvals on the site. Again, developed as a Levitt's furniture showroom and warehouse in 71. There is, with that conditional use permit, they also received approval of a 90-foot tall three-sided sign. That's their pylon sign out there. And then they also have a cell tower on site, which was approved back in 2003. So that has a conditional use permit. And most recently in 2016, there was an interim use permit approved for Park Jeep to be able to store new vehicles out at the site for 142 parking spaces, and that's taking place on kind of the southeast area of the site. So what's proposed is in the red area on the lower left corner. That is where the outdoor storage is proposed, and the site already is fenced by chain link fenced, so it's secure already. What the applicant would like to do, they would like to be able to relocate from another site in Burnsville further to the west to this building to be able to expand. To be able to do that, they do need the outdoor storage component, and have identified that what they would do is install a second fence inside the initial fence. There really won't be any work associated with that other than the fence, because the parking area, the impervious surface is already there. So they will put in a new 8-foot tall chain link fence with the slats, and then have their outdoor storage of those metal frames and materials out in that location. In terms of the site, everything, for the most part is existing out there. They aren't making any changes to cause, improvements for parking lot landscaping or other landscaping screening. With the interim use permit that was approved for the Park Jeep storage area, they did have to install additional landscaping on the site, so that is existing. And in the area in the vicinity where the outdoor storage is proposed, there are mature trees located in that area as well. The parking is really the only thing that will be affected by this application. And what they have shown is based on the warehouse and office use for the site, they need a total of 87 parking stalls to meet the ordinance. They have 115 stalls, and that's above and beyond the 142 stalls used for Park Jeep. Also, we did ask, what would happen if they have another tenant in the future come in that needs additional parking. And they advised us that the interim use permit that they have with Park Jeep, they have the option to terminate that at any point in time. So if it needs be that they need some additional parking for a future tenant, they have the option to do that. They don't anticipate the need to do that, but just so you know that that is out there. As far as the site, the proposal is for L&W Supply Corporation. They're a residential contractor, builder, and they want to expand over to this site. And the outdoor storage area is about 85 feet by 205 feet in the southwest corner. There would be an 8-foot tall chain link fence with the slats for screening, and the IUP would be requested till September of 2040, or 20 years. This is just a little bit bigger part of the site plan, and it just shows the area. Basically, the area that they would be taking up was previously shown as like trailer parking. That's not needed at this point in time for the tenants that are out there. There is adequate parking, and the area that they chose for the outdoor storage is out of the way for any of their larger trucks and vehicles needing to come in and maneuver to access the loading areas on the south and the east. The material shown, this is the material. It's a new type of material. It's not just slats. They're actually locked into place. They are proposing to use the beige color, but it's a material that has been approved in the past for other outdoor storage in this general area on an interim basis. And the type of outdoor storage has also been approved for interim uses. With that, the recommendation from staff, we recommend approval of the application, subject to the 3 conditions that are identified, and that be the previously approved conditional use permits and IUP remain in full force and effect. 2, the materials that are stored within the outdoor storage area can't be taller than 8 feet, so they'll be you won't be able to see anything beyond the fence. And then 3, the interim use permit, let's see, I can't read that so far. My eyes are going. Sorry, folks. I have to read it here. The interim use permit is issued pursuant to state law and city code, allowing outdoor storage of the metal studs, framing, and metal racking. And that this IUP shall terminate on September 8th, 2040, or sooner if the outdoor storage area is removed. So with that, staff is recommending approval of the application. I can stand for questions.
All right, any questions for Ms. Garros?
Chair Timmerman, I should note that the applicant is available on Zoom and will happily answer any questions should there be any.
Wonderful, thank you. Yes, Commissioner John.
So this seems pretty straightforward. It's just outdoor storage and nothing sticking out. And that's just aesthetics more than anything, correct? We're just looking
Yes.
to make sure that nothing looks
Exactly, yep.
goodly. Okay.
And this is something the council has determined, because there is, such a large time frame between this heavy industrial uses, particularly of the gravel operations, that storage and interim type applications they anticipate will need to occur out there, will occur out there until that operation ceases, and then they anticipate development occurring following that, so.
And is there anyone, excuse me, is there anything currently in that building, or are they moving in? They're gonna just gonna say-
Yes, they do have other tenants, and perhaps the applicant can address that. This would be an additional tenant besides what is in there, which I believe, I put somewhere here. Oh, maybe she knows.
Seal-Rite?
I did write it somewhere, but yes, Seal-Rite is one of them, and not sure. Therma-Tru doors. So,
Other questions for Ms. Garros? All right, why don't we allow the applicant to share with us if they'd like, and maybe they can answer Commissioner John's question too. Once we get you up here, please state your name and address for the record.
Can you guys see us?
yes, we can.
We're in the office, sorry. Jeff Josephs, I'm the managing member of the LLP, and Paige Bar & Fine, who's our asset manager.
Wonderful. So would you like to tell us just a little bit about the project, and then Commissioner John had a question about the tenants as well.
Yeah, you bet. So we bought the property probably 6, 7 years ago. I think, as you guys are probably familiar with, we've put a significant amount of capital into it, upwards of like $2.5 million, including painting, tuck pointing, rebranding, things like that. So we bought it. We were excited about buying it. Great location. We had a tenant in there, Seal Right, who relocated to the state of Wisconsin, closed their operations. So for the last year, we've been searching for a new tenant in the space. We've been kind of particular about what we're looking for, and L&W Supply was approached us through their broker, and needed the outside storage, needed to expand. We felt like it was a perfect fit for our building. So they're going to take about half of the vacancy. And there'll be some significant investment by L&W, and then some significant investment upwards of 150, roughly 1,000 on landlord's side to finish up the tenant improvements inside the building. And then we'll be left with a little bit of vacancy on what would be the north side of the building. The existing tenants are Iron Mountain, who I think they have approximately 2 employees and maybe a truck a day. And then Ryder Logistics, I don't know how many people they have. I want to say somewhere around 20, maybe. They do small distribution of aerospace parts out of the building. And obviously Iron Mountain does document storage. And then we would have L&W.
Very good, thank you. Commissioners, any additional questions for the applicants? Okay. Doesn't look like we have any questions right now, but thank you very much for joining us. And at this time, this is a public hearing, so I will open up the public hearing at 6:47 PM. It doesn't look like there's anybody in chambers wishing to speak, and anyone online or on the phone who would?
There are no members on Zoom that wish to participate.
Okay, wonderful. I will close the public hearing also at 6:47. Commissioners, any additional questions, conversation, or motions? Yes, Commissioner Roberts.
Yeah, after reading all of this stuff, I think the staff again did their diligence because it was pretty clean cut. And I didn't see anything in here that there wasn't any flags at all. So good job, staff, and this would be something that I'd be supporting, yeah.
Commissioner Wad?
I was going to echo the same. Seems like a great use for the property.
Commissioner Jen?
I don't support Commissioner Roberts' face mask. However, I think this is a pretty easy go.
All right.
I will make a motion.
Very good.
I move that we recommend to the city council approval of the interim use permit for outdoor storage of metal studs and framing on metal racks for a period of 20 years and a CUP to allow screening material to consist of slats installed within chain link fence at 12301 Dupont Avenue South, subject to the 3 conditions that are listed that Deb had read through.
Commissioner Wad and Commissioner Roberts?
I second that.
All right. Any other thoughts? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. And the motion carries. And thank you very much again to our applicants for joining us via Zoom this evening. And that is a wrap on the agenda. And I guess I will open it up for any updates that the commissioners or staff might have for us.
I have just a couple of items. The city council did approve the KMM PUD, development stage PUD last week with all of the conditions as recommended by the planning commission. There were no changes. And then your next upcoming meeting is on September 14th, 2020. And on that agenda, we have got 2 items tentatively. One of them would be landscape ordinance amendments. That's part of the Planning Commission work plan. Our consultant, NAC, will be here along with Sarah Madden to talk about that item. We also have an application for Twin Lakes Residential Second Edition. This is it's a 52-unit townhome project that is located on South Cross and Grand. It's south of the Healy-Ramey property that's currently under construction. So they need, they're applying for a planned unit development amendment, plat, and then also conditional use permit for filling in part of the floodplain. It's kind of a unique situation, so we'll discuss that at that point in time. And then they also need some variances from the shoreland ordinance, so that's probably the biggest project. And that's what we have at this point in time scheduled. That's it from me.
Good, thank you. Any other updates, Commissioner? Before we adjourn, I just want to remind members of the public can submit additional public comment related to the items on this evening's Planning Commission until 4:30 p.m. on Friday, August 28th. These comments will be included with the City Council background for consideration. And at this time, I would like a motion for adjournment. Commissioner Roberts?
Thank you. I'll ask that we zoom in a little bit closer on what's happening here. And on a friendly note, I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on anything that just
I have a discussion.
came up?
I think Commissioner Keeley would agree.
Possibly. 3 weeks from now, we'll have a further discussion on this.
Definitely will.
All right, so a motion by Commissioner Roberts, second by Commissioner Henderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, and the motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.